My name is Burr, and I'm an assistant professor at the University of Central Oklahoma. And I'd like to acknowledge my co-authors on this paper. How do time and vocational stress impact attitudes toward relationship education? My co-authors are Dr. Brandt, Gardner, Ron Cox, and Robert Larzelere at Oklahoma State University, and Dr. Dan Hubler, who's at Weber State University. Deeply honored to be here to accept this award. It was a surprise to me. It was a good surprise. I want to give a big thank you to Family Consumer Sciences Research Journal, Blackwell Publishing, for this great honor. This is actually a project that started back when I was working on my dissertation. And I was working with some faculty who had received a grant to study recruitment barriers to relationship education in primarily lower-income couples. And I began to notice rather quickly there's just not much we know about attitudes toward relationship education. There's really not much that we know now, so I've kind of continued to study that. Just kind of what people think about relationship education. And attitudes can be a pretty big determining factor in whether or not someone decides to attend a particular service or program. The theory of planned behavior suggests that intentions and attitudes actually shape behavior. So if I have a more positive attitude toward attending relationship education, I would be more likely to attend. So in this particular study, we investigated how common barriers to attending family programs, specifically time pressure and vocational stress, impact attitudes toward relationship education. And we hypothesized that both time pressure and vocational stress would be negatively associated with attitudes toward relationship ed. And then we looked at how these associations differed by gender and income. That was a big part of the grant. So in the sample, we had 99 couples, ages 18 to 35 with a mean age of 24. And then to measure time pressure and vocational stress, we used two subscales of the Dergatis stress profile. Since there's not much we know about relationship education attitudes, we created a 6-item measure from the study survey. And since we had data from both partners, we were able to conduct dyadic data analysis using the actor-partner interdependence model. And that analysis is actually pretty cool because you can see how one partner's independent variable impacts their own outcome variable, and how that independent variable impacts their partner's outcome variable. So like an example related to this study, how my time pressure and vocational stress impact my own attitude toward relationship education, and how my time pressure and vocational stress impact my partner's attitude toward relationship education, and vice versa. So you get to see some interaction with the couple data, which is kind of fun and kind of cool. And then we tested for differences by gender and income using multi-group analysis, where we divided the sample into two income groups, kind of using a median split at 35,000. So we had a moderate income group above 35,000, and then a lower income group below 35,000. And our results showed that for men, time pressure, or our overall results showed that for men, time pressure had a negative effect on their own attitude toward relationship education. But what was interesting is the effect was in the opposite direction for women. For females, time pressure had a positive effect on their own attitude toward relationship education. And then we also found that male vocational stress was negatively associated with attitudes towards relationship education in their female partners. For differences by education, we found, by income group, we found that for the moderate income group, we found several significant effects, primarily highlighting the impact of time pressure. But we didn't find any significant effects for the lower income group. So for this particular sample, time pressure and vocational stress had a bigger impact on attitudes toward relationship education for the moderate income group. These results suggest that barriers to attending relationship education may differ by gender and income, and that there's a great need to tailor our marketing and recruitment messages differently for different audiences. If the goal is to increase the reach of relationship services, a one-size-fits-all marketing campaign isn't going to be effective. Our curriculum materials, as well as our marketing materials, need to better match the needs, the situation, the values, the attitudes of the target audience. And we need to do a better job of taking into account dyadic factors and contextual factors as part of this process. Thank you very much for your time.